started reading. What did we just start reading?
The Dawn of Everything.
By
David Graeber and another David.
David Wengrow. And what is the most interesting thing that you learned today?
So the basic question that these authors are looking at and researching within these like 500 plus pages is the origin of social inequality. Look at that flock of birds. See that huge flock? To me, the concept, I mean, there are obviously like a bunch of specificities that are fascinating, but the concept itself, to trace the history of inequality or equality, is one, quite the feat, but two, how do you ever, I find it hard to even believe how one would ever decipher that. You know what I mean?
You're just ultimately skeptical.
One of the things that was also interesting that they said was that we have limited our imaginations to believe in the like simplicities of structure. So it's easier to say, oh, this economic structure looks like this. But in the inner workings of it, in the nuances of it, it's so much more complex. And so in the same way, I think we can't limit our imaginations to think about, oh, this is the origin of inequality. I mean, it would take, and I think I'm not skeptical because they have done an immense amount of research, but I do think that is a great way. This was at the very beginning of the book that they talked about how we have limited our imaginations, and that is a critical point to remember when reading the rest of the book, is that this is two guys, after all, writing about an enormous, vast history, and that humans often find ourselves simplifying structures so that we can grasp them. And I feel like it's necessary to remember that you can't title the interworkings of a human population with one word. Okay, my turn. Switch to Dee Dee. Yo, what up, Dee Dee?
Yo.
What do you think about, in the context of the book, about the intersection between Christianity and inequality and or equality?
Well, yeah, I mean, they make this amazing point that, Christianity, which is sort of the basis of European thinking and the basis of European power structures, pre-Enlightenment and pre-democratic revolutions, is that the only equality you see is actually equality of being subjugated. Everybody is equal as a subject of the Lord. And yeah, the other amazing thing that they brought up was that just went right off my head. What the fuck was the amazing thing? The amazing thing that they said was, okay, taking their argument in stride that the ideas of equality and individual freedom without the, subjugation by a king or a clergy, that those are ideas from Native American societies and thinkers, that those have been sort of co-opted. So if we accept that argument, they go on to say that these ideas have been co-opted by the democratic revolutions and sort of by the normal modern Western person, that we believe in liberty, we believe in freedom and sort of sovereignty of ourselves. We can choose what we want to do with our lives. But that sort of vestiges of the earlier Western...
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a freaking deer. Multiple deer.
Jeez.
Oh, and there was our rest stop. Shit.
It's okay. There's another one.
Okay. That vestiges of the Western pre-American ideology that subjugation to a higher power is the only way to experience freedom, really still exists in the modern Western person. So the example that they give is, yes, we'll decry individual freedom, but if you start talking about the abolition of the police or abolition of prisons, all of a sudden the Western person goes, no, that's impossible.
Right.
I couldn't imagine
Right.
a world that didn't have violent means of coercion.
Right. That is yeah. Go ahead.
But David Wengrow and David Graeber give written evidence of testimony from early missionaries that say, no, there were Native American societies, a lot of people that functioned very well without police or prisons.
Right.
And it's just like, why do we have this notion that violent coercion is the only way to experience freedom?
All right, y'all. We're in Nebraska. We have...
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.